Hey everyone, it's Aisha, aka Lesh of Living Lesh, and welcome to my channel. If it's your first time stopping by my channel, let me share a little bit about what goes on at Living Lesh. We cover everything from fashion, beauty, lifestyle, travel, some things on my podcast, That Looks Life, and even more now on things about life and living, and that includes home decor stuff and just home stories, which is where this video is going to go today. Before we get too far into it, I want to make sure that if it's your first time visiting, or even if it's your second and third time, and you haven't hit that subscribe button, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay connected with everything going on at Living Lash, because you won't want to miss it. Now, on today's episode, or on today's video, I don't want to call it episode, but today's video, we're actually going to be doing a review on a home product. So for those who don't know, aren't familiar with my story, about 2 years ago, my husband and I bought a piece of land and decided to build our custom dream home on it. And right after we finally moved into our home, it was time to start putting each room together. And for those who don't know, when you buy a new home and it's completely empty, taking those rooms and doing it all one shot is a whole lot. So you have to go room by room. So these past 2 years, we've been going room by room, and we're now starting to put color into the house, color and design, because the house was completely white when it was painted. Reason why we decided to go that route was because we wanted the house to settle. It's new land that's been disturbed, and we wanted the house to be able to settle. So if there were any nail pops, you just cover it with white, or if we're painting, you just painted the color you wanted to paint. Versus if we decided to paint the house different colors, then now we are having to match paint later on as we're covering up nail pops, which no one ever really wants to do. But we went through and painted, started painting some of the rooms. And with the painting, we also decided to do some wallpapering. I have been to a number of houses where I have seen great wallpaper, murals, even like the border wallpaper and just different designs. And I always felt inspired to get some of my own. So as we were putting together our powder room as well as our dining room, I decided those were the two rooms where I want to test out wallpaper, start there, and then if I want to do more wallpaper throughout the rest of the house, I'd expand. So that's exactly what we did. We started with those two rooms. And after searching around a little bit for different wallpaper brands based off of the style, how to apply them, and just different reviews I was reading, I settled on Rebel Walls. Now, I will be completely transparent. After finding Rebel Walls, looking at it, I was about to purchase, but as a content creator, I did reach out and offer them the opportunity to do a collaboration, which they did agree to. So complete transparency, I did get the wallpaper that I'm going to talk about, and you're going to see a little bit, for free in exchange for other content. But this video here is completely transparent. I'm sharing with you my feedback. You can go on my Instagram. That's what they kind of exchanged it for, to see that content, or see like the before and afters. But I want to give a full review and share about the process we went through to use Rebel Walls, as well as to apply the peel and stick wallpaper that we opted for. So let's start from the beginning. Like I said, I went and found their website first and found the exact styles that I was looking for. What I really enjoyed about searching on their website is, because I already had a color in mind, I was basically able to go and search and pick the color I wanted and search through those different styles. So I was able to search through colors that I know were highlight colors, as well as the, not the bland colors, but the base colors that I was going to do in those rooms. And I was able to find out the different styles I wanted and kind of bookmark them and save them, create wish lists. They do have a large variety of different types of wallpapers, whether you're looking for a mural, a pattern wallpaper, anything in between. You could even do custom wallpaper. They allow that as well. There are so many options, and they make it very easy for you to navigate the website and find what you're looking for. It will become overwhelming if you just go on the website and just go, I'm going to search through and just like sift through all these pages. If you do that, you will be overwhelmed because there are so many options. So with any wallpaper search, I recommend going in and actually having an idea of what you want to do, so that as you're searching for the styles, you can filter it down to actually pick out what you're going for. The other filters they offered were like, if you're looking for florals, you're looking for, water type schemes, outdoorsy. They do all of those different types of categories as well. There's a lot of different ways you can filter through it. So it made it very easy. Once I figured out which wallpapers I wanted, it was just about then getting, the sizing in there. So what they do is they ask you for your wallpaper or your wall size while you're putting it on, and they do give you instructions on how to measure and then tell you like, okay, always go a little bit longer and higher just so you have excess. It's easier to trim off something than to have it too short and now you have wall behind it and it just looks awkward. So I went and we did all our measurements, got our tape measure, did the measurements in each of the rooms and went and put it in there. And right as you put in the measurements and you add your couple extra inches, it does give you the pricing. So for our dining room wall and plus the powder room, we came to about a little bit under 1,000 for the total wallpapers. And that was based off the styles and the size that we were ordering. Because these are freshly printed. They're not somewhere that they're in stock and they're just waiting and they ship them to you. These wallpapers are being printed for you just based off the style that you're choosing. So it was really simple to go through that process. It does let you, you put in your sizing. It does show you like a mock-up of what it'll fully look like. It gives you an estimate of when it'll arrive. Tracking was really easy. The whole process from ordering to when it got here was super, super easy. Didn't have any complaints at that point, or didn't have any complaints at that point. Yeah, that's what I said. Once it got here, it was a little bit overwhelming at first and shocking because I didn't know what to prepare for. So when you get each of your wallpaper styles, it comes in just one big roll. So for our powder room, it was one roll about probably like this big, and our dining room, it was a roll about this big. So of course, me not knowing what I'm getting into, I was like, they just sent me one roll. Am I supposed to be cutting things up? Like, what is going on? And this is without me actually unrolling it. I was already just overwhelmed going, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to hire somebody. I don't know what to do. I had already planned to install it myself, which is why I went with the peel and stick option. They do have the paste option if you want to go either or. And I do believe from some of the other reviews I saw that if you do choose the paste option, they will provide paint, but I think it is an extra fee. Whereas the peel and stick, the pricing is a little bit different based off of what you're going with. It's just how you're going to apply it and what your preference is. So I eventually did unroll the entire thing and realize how they set it up is they tell you, here's the instructions. The instructions are right up top, which I failed to read when I first opened the box. But it comes through and it shows you, your print, and that tells you each of these are in this amount of panels. It tells you right up front how many panels that you have. So the instructions are actually custom somewhat because it does fill in the numbers of what panels you have and how to cut them. They give you cutting lines, so the panels are not back to back. There is space in between so that you can do the overlay, and they tell you where to place it if you're peeling and sticking. So the information and the instructions were super, super helpful for someone who was planning on DIYing this project. The price to have someone come in and do a peel and stick for me just wasn't worth it. We were going with someone who helps us, the painters that help do our house. They were going to charge about, $200 just to come out and do it. Where I was like, I'd rather just save my money and do it myself because I felt like I could tackle it. And I ended up being able to tackle it, just to kind of put that out there. So they do give these cutting lines, makes it very easy to take the panels apart. And my recommendation, if you're going that way, take the panels apart as you're going through because, we pulled out 2 panels, and depending on your wall size, if it is very long or, very high, those panels can take up a whole room. And if you have people walking back and forth in your area, they might step on them. So we did it panel by panel. And as we were taking it out, the effort to peel and stick wasn't as difficult as I originally thought it was going to be, but I'm not going to sit here and say it was easy. We had to match up, the designs because we had murals to each of the things. And we had 7 panels for our dining room and 2 panels for our master bathroom, or not master bathroom, our powder room, excuse me. It was difficult. We did have wall bubbles or, air bubbles. Rebel Walls does include in the box a little, I can't think of the term for it now, but basically a thing where you can like scoop out the bubbles. and let you flatten everything out. So that was pretty easy. We did, just wallpaper down, got to the end, was able to use a X-Acto knife very lightly on the wall to cut the edges off at the top and the bottom. Our hardest part was when we got to the end. So they're going to give your last panel typically goes over into the corner, depending on the wall you are. So you could try to evenly cut it, which can be hard for like if you have like a 7-foot panel like we had. There's no like X-Acto cutter that goes 7 feet. So we had to kind of try to match it and then stick it in there and stick it into the corner, which was probably the most difficult part of the process, but we did get through it. I will say that if you have the time and the patience, you can do this. You can do it. The work came out nice. I love the panels. I love the way it final looks. I would definitely order from Rebel Walls again, especially the peel and stick, because the one thing that it does allow you to do is if you don't stick it right, it doesn't immediately adhere to the wall. You can't pull it up, put it back on, and it still remains tacky. And then once you get it full flushed in, then you can go back and fully stick it. So even as we messed up, we were able to, fix, or I guess edit those aspects. But everything blended in right as we wanted it. The murals came just as we wanted them to. They looked exactly like they were on the website. So I was very, very happy. We love it. Now, the end question of would I probably be wallpapering more walls? I may end up doing one more wall, but I probably won't do a lot just because of the effort. But I did love Rebel Walls. Peel and stick is a process at the end of the day. Peel and stick any wallpaper, doing any work in your house is a process. But the peel and stick aspect of it was somewhat difficult, to the point where like you're going to just see the after effects of it. I didn't really get to film a lot of me doing the process because I was so busy trying to make sure this was done right and that my walls weren't jacked up, because you could be able to see imperfections if things are off, especially you come by, the murals don't match. Why is the one flower higher than the other one? We didn't want that at all. But like I said, I'd give Rebel Walls a 10 out of 10 process from ordering, searching, ordering, shipping, getting here, putting it on, 10 out of 10. And I'm not just saying that because they collaborated with me. I would tell you honestly, I'm like, you know what, this isn't it. But everything came out beautifully. We are very happy with how everything turned out. And if I do end up wallpapering this room, which I'll probably in my office just do one mural wall, I would definitely go with Rebel Walls again. So I hope you found this video very helpful in your process. If you have any questions about Rebel Walls or doing any peel and stick wallpapering, make sure to leave them in the comments below and I will answer you. I'll also be doing a full blog post on this, so you'll see that also in the description below. And I will also be linking both of the wallpapers that we use in the description. So check out all the information there for extra things. And then if you're interested in seeing the full before and afters of our rooms, make sure to head over to my Instagram, Living Lesh, or my home Instagram if you really just want to focus on the home stuff. It is simply Lesh Living, both linked in the description. And thank you for coming by. I'll catch you next time.